think that you could hold me when you couldn't get by yourself? And I don't know who would ever wanna tell the seam of someone's dream. Baby, it's fine. You said that we should just be friends. Well, I came up with that line, and I'm sure that it's for the best. If you ever change your mind, don't hold your breath. Look, you may not believe that, baby, I'm relieved when you said goodbye. My whole world shined. Hey, 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 it's a beautiful day, and I can't stop myself from smiling. If I drink and then I'm buying, and I know there's no denying. It's a beautiful day, the sun is up, the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complaining, 'cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away. It's a beautiful day. It's my turn to fly, so girls get in line, 'cause I'm easy, no playing this guy like a fool. 'Cause now I'm alright. You might have had me caged before, but not tonight. And you may not believe that, baby, I'm relieved. This fire inside, it burns too bright. I don't wanna say so long, I just wanna say goodbye. It's a beautiful day, and I can't stop myself from smiling. If I drink and then I'm buying, and I know there's no denying that it's a beautiful day, the sun is up and the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complaining, 'cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away. 'Cause if you ever think I'll take up my time with thinking of our breakup, then you've got another thing coming your way. 'Cause it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Oh, baby, any day that you're gone away. It's a beautiful day.
Dear friends, we have gathered here today to say our goodbye to Jennifer Elizabeth Buchanan-Edwards. And Jenny died on Tuesday the 6th of December at the all too young age of 61 years. My name is Gayleen Salomon from Sylvan Funerals, and Leon Eustace is assisting me today. And we do count a great privilege and honour to have been given the opportunity to care for Jenny and to help you, her family and her friends, say goodbye. And on behalf of her husband Michael, and also on behalf of Kylie and all of the family, I do thank you for coming today to offer your support and your sympathy. And I'm sure that they will draw much comfort from your words of condolence and by your presence here today. If you didn't get an opportunity to put your name in the book as you came in today, please do make sure you do that as you leave today. There's a sea of faces here today, and it'll be lovely if you could leave your name and even perhaps a little message there as you leave. And at the conclusion of the service today, you are invited to join the family at Kylie's home, and the address is on your booklet. Some of you may have missed out on a booklet, but just follow the crowd to 40 Harlan Road at Coal Falls, and Kylie assures me that she's going to be able to help out and offer her hospitality for all of those who come. So please do come and share some memories and over some food and refreshments. It'd be a beautiful opportunity to come together. If you have your phone on, would you mind just switching it off or to silent for the duration of the service? Thank you. Friends, there are two rituals or ceremonies that we must always take part in as human beings. And these are the rituals of saying hello and saying goodbye. And we have come today to take part in a ceremony to say goodbye and farewell to Jenni. And some of you may not have had the chance to say goodbye. And it is for this reason that we have gathered here this afternoon. And although we know that all living things do die, we still ask the question, why? Why did Jenni have to die at this time? And truthfully, we don't have an answer. We can only confess that life and death is still a mystery that confronts us as human beings. The normal cycle of life can be looked upon as being composed of 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter. And death is something we all hope not to confront until we're well into our time of winter, when we have fulfilled all of our hopes and dreams. Jenni, however, was confronted with this in her autumn, a time when she should have been making plans for many more years spent with Michael, enjoying her grandchildren, watching them grow up. Her death has left a huge void in the hearts of those who knew and loved her. And you, her loved ones, are finding that void magnified by the emotions of the day. So it is at times such as this that we're reminded that as human beings we have a very fragile and uncertain hold on life. And we realise that if Jenni can be dead, well, we can be also. And that's a very sobering thought. And just as we do see the changing of the seasons, we're now into those hotter days of summer after a beautiful spring. And these changing of the seasons remind us of the words of the wise man of the Bible, the ancient king, King Solomon. And as an old man looking back on his all too brief life, he notes that to everything there is a season, and a time and a purpose for every matter under heaven. There's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. For everything there is a season and a time and a purpose for every matter under heaven. And Jenni's time has come. And while we are sad in our grief, we also come to remember and celebrate the life of a kind and a beautiful person. We have come to mourn and remember a friend and companion. We have come to affirm life itself and our part in it. And we have come to consider death and how we shall meet it. And I hope at the end of this service for Jenni, you'll all feel glad that you took this opportunity to share some of your grief and to say your farewells in the presence of those who knew and loved her. I invite you to please now bow your head in a prayer of thanksgiving for Jenni's life. Our Father in heaven, we earnestly pray that we who have gathered here in your name might sense the comforting presence of the Holy Spirit. Give us at this moment an assurance of the love that you have for each of us, and especially the love that you have for Jenni. We give thanks for the many ways in which Jenni shared her life with us and others, in strength and in weakness, in achievement and in failure. In the brightness of joy and in the darkness of despair, we remember her as one of us. Today we will remember her larger-than-life personality and her hilarious and funny spirit. For these memories we give thanks. We will remember how family always came first for Jenni, and how she would freely give the shirt off her own back to help. Such was her kind and generous nature, and for this we give thanks. We will remember how she was so laid back and carefree. Time just never mattered for Jenni. She's always late. But that was Jenni, and we do smile and chuckle as we give thanks for these beautiful memories and so many, many more. We thank you for the assurance that nothing can separate us from your love, and for the blessings we have received through Jenni's life. We give you thanks and praise forever and ever. Please be with us as we place Jenni into your loving care. We pray in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Friends, this afternoon we are going to have a beautiful time of sharing where we hear a little of Jenni's story and some memories as shared through her family and also hear some of her favourite music. It is my privilege to firstly invite her brother Daryl Smith to please come forward and speak. Thank you, Daryl.
Hello everybody, and thank you for attending. I would especially like to thank everyone who has travelled here today and to help celebrate and farewell our dear sister Jenni Buchanan-Edwards. Some I know have travelled from Perth and others from our hometown Helensburgh in New South Wales. For those who don't know me, my name is Daryl, or to Jenni I was Dags. I think she was the only one who I ever let get away with calling me that. I'm a little brother, and on behalf of my sister Kerry and her family, I'd like to say a few words in her honour. Jenni was the firstborn child of Daphne and Richard Smith on the 1st of July 1955 in beautiful Helensburgh. A gorgeous little blonde-haired girl who was the apple of our English grandparents' eyes. Jenni spent a large amount of time with our grandparents and until she went to school, spoke in a broad Lancashire accent. An accent she could drop into at any time over her adult years. We had an idyllic childhood growing up, surrounded by family and friends. I remember one Christmas getting a pair of new boxing gloves and being egged on by others landed a blow on poor Jenni. Down she went. I was devastated. I don't think those gloves got a lot more use after that. A talented ballroom dancer with many medals, she danced at competition level with Kerry. They were both costumed by Mum, who was a brilliant seamstress, a talent that was passed on to Jenni. Jenni grew up fast as our dear dad died when she was just 13. She was Mum's rock, helping to bring up her younger siblings. Leaving school early, Jenni embarked on a career as an apprentice hairdresser for the enormous sum of $16 a week. Catching the eye of a young Hurstville station assistant, Mark Buchanan, a romance blossomed and they would later marry. After the birth of their first child, Kylie, Jenni and Mark decided to make the big move north, packing up their trusty Mini Minor and heading for Brisbane. The Brisbane lifestyle suited the young couple, and in 1976 their second child, Scott, was born. Mark later joined the Air Force and Jenni settled into base accommodation in Amberley. Although we lived 1,000 kilometres apart, the New England highway was well travelled, with visits by family and the odd trip to Sydney, thanks to the RAAF and the weekly Hercules to Richmond. Already a talented seamstress, Jenni was never far away from a sewing machine, making clothes and costumes for her family and friends. She quickly built up a reputation as a fine craftswoman and went on to manage a bridal shop in Ipswich. With an eye on perfection, the wedding gowns she produced were exceptional. She would work tirelessly to ensure any bride that wore her gowns looked stunning on their big day. I'm sure many girls here today walked down the aisle in one of her masterpieces. Later, Jenni worked in many other roles in clothing and apparel, but she still continued to sew for anybody that asked. She would refuse no one. Mark loved motorcycles and was an active member of the Old and Rooted Motorcycle Club. The annual pilgrimage to Bathurst and later Sofala were eagerly attended by both Jenni and Mark. I'm pleased to see their long-time friends from that club are here today. Jenni and Mark built up a band of loyal friends and enjoyed the company at many events and camping trips. Kylie married in 1999 and gave birth to Jenni and Mark's sole grandchild, Olivia Jane, in 2003. Scott had grown into a tall, athletic man and continued to bring happiness to his parents' life. Sadly, Mark contracted cancer in his early 50s. Here again, Jenni showed her true grit and determination in nursing Mark until he lost his battle. Alone but with the love of family and friends, Jenni soldiered on. Travelling overseas for the first time with long-time friend Leslie, they embarked upon the UK. I remember her telling me about trying to get to Buchanan Castle over a barbed wire fence, getting caught up in it and landing in cow dung. But typically, Jenni just laughed it off. In 2006, Jenni married Michael Edwards and a new chapter in her life was opened. Michael soon worked us all out, was adopted by us all, and is affectionately known as Poppy. Moving into a new house, a reinvigorated Jenni designed and styled it to her impeccable taste. With Olivia now an avid dancer, Jenni moved her talents to designing and making dancing costumes. Bling It On Dancewear was born. Importing fabrics from around the globe, Jenni designed and created stunning dance costumes. Another of her exceptional talents was her ability to shop. She wasn't perfect, was nearly always running late, but she always came through in the end. A tour of the USA with Olivia's dance group dancing at Disneyland was a proud moment for the devoted nanny. Just as things were looking up, we found that our dear mum had also developed cancer. Jenni again stepped up and put her life on hold to help mum through her final months. Mum passed away just last year. This, although expected, took a heavy toll on Jenni and her own health came into focus. Our sister was such a funny, hard-working, passionate woman who cared immensely for everyone around her. She truly touched so many lives. She leaves behind a tremendous legacy and a lot of people remember her and what she taught them for the rest of their lives. You can take the girl out of the berg, but not the berg out of the girl. Jenni, you always jokingly said you would be late for your own funeral. Sorry, love. I'm sorry. Love, you were far too early. We love you, darling sister. We'll miss you. And we'll always be in our thoughts.
Thank you, Daryl, for sharing those thoughts with us this afternoon. I'd like to now invite the children and the grandchildren to please come forward. Now, some of you might not know who they all are, so we're going to get the whole clan up here for you to have a look, and we're going to be privileged to hear from Olivia and from Georgia. Thank you.
Firstly, I'd like to say something on behalf of my mum, Kylie, and my uncle, Scott. Firstly, I want to thank my gorgeous, brave 13-year-old baby girl for reading this for me. I just couldn't do it. Sorry, Mama. I know you'll be disappointed in me. I just don't have the courage you had. Where do I even start trying to put words together? Our beloved Mum. Mum was just 16 and Dad 19 when I was born. 20 and 23 when Scott was born. I remember a fairly happy upbringing. Although Dad was pretty tough, they both loved us fiercely. My favourite childhood memories were our frequent camping trips to Brunswick Heads and rides on a big old Hercules down to Sydney to spend Christmases with all our family down south. My mum has always been more like my best friend than my mother. She would get calls from school when I'd wagged the day and said, yes, sorry, I meant to call. She's sick at home, and then kick my ass later. She always had my back, even when I was a rat bag. There were 5 a.m. drives from Willowbank into the city to pick Sandy and I up out of gutters, often with a carload of random people to drop off at various places. She always said she'd rather do that and know that we were safe. I can't even put into words a way to describe her. She was full of love and life, the most generous and giving person I've ever known, mind-blowingly talented at almost everything. She was obviously an amazing seamstress and designer, but she could do anything with her hands. A brilliant cook, yet another trait which has not been passed on to me. She could build things and loved her power tools. She could crochet and knit, was a talented scrapbooker and card maker. Her happy place was on her ride-on mower. She was notoriously running late for everything, hilariously funny, and in the last few years I seem to have grown up a bit and felt like I was parenting her at times. She called herself Peter Pan, said she would never grow up. She also said she never wanted to grow old. I guess she got her way. We've been blessed to have had her as a mother. She was tough but fair, wise beyond her years, always knew the right things to say and would do anything for us. For a young mum, we were both born before her 21st birthday. Quite honestly, I think she did a damn fine job. She has devoted her life to caring for Scott. The depth of his loss will be long-lasting, but we will all stick together. We are thankful for all the good times, and there is too many fun memories to even begin to describe. She certainly lived her life to the fullest, but the past 2 years of ill health and losing her own mother certainly took its toll on her. The impact on me of losing her is indescribable. Until the last year or so, we spoke every day on the phone, multiple times usually, at lunches, had lunches, dinners, loved going to the theatre together, had sleepovers, and we could watch Sex and the City reruns over and over and over. We had a mother and daughter bond, much stronger than most I've ever seen. I have friends who've always envied the closeness we shared, and for that I will be forever grateful. She has also been the best nanny in the world to live. As a single mum to live, being just 13 months old, she has helped me to raise Olivia into a beautiful, talented, kind young lady. Olivia is so much like her nanny, it's uncanny. Both very creative and artistic, both loud and funny. They both loved pineapple chocolate, and so many other ways I can't think of at the moment. I could never have got through all those years being a shift-working midwife as a single parent without her, and Michael supporting me. I can't even imagine my life without her in it. I love you, Mama. I always will, and until the end of my days, you will never be forgotten. Wait, am I reading this? Okay. This is something that I wrote. Hi, for people that don't know me, my name's Olivia. I'm Jenni's granddaughter. I'd like to say some things for Nanny and tell you some things I remember and will cherish for eternity. Not only was Nanny my grandmother, but she was my second mum, my best friend. I'll never forget that. She was the most outgoing and funny person I know. She always made me laugh. At Christmas, about 4 years ago, we were singing to Christmas songs in the lounge room at her place, and she started swinging the microphone around and ended up dinting the roof. It was hilarious. Could never forget that one. I would also like to say some things to Nanny, because I know that she's listening. My mum isn't reading because she's a little bit upset, but me, I'm strong, and being strong for Nanny, because that's what she would want. She was my everything. I love her so much. She's so gorgeous and beautiful, and I'll never forget seeing her face practically every day. I would spend weeks at a time with Nanny. It's upset me now because I don't have my dance nanny anymore. She made all my dance costumes and helped me with everything. But she's taught me to be strong and also independent, and that's what I am. Nanny, I love you, and I'll never forget you. You're so gorgeous. Forever, love.
Hi. For those who don't know me, my name is Edwards, and this is my brother Brendan and Gareth. And Scott. Jenni's been around for as long as I can remember, so I count her as a mother and a best friend. I'll try not to get sappy and sad, because I know if she were here, she'd slap me up the back of the head and tell me to toughen up. But knowing me, it's the only thing that keeps me going. Time. Do you truly understand it? When you hear the words, you automatically think of a clock, don't you? But time is so much more. Time is a precious gift given to us from the day we are born. From taking our first steps, going to school, finding love, and going through heartbreak, having children, and making the most out of our lives while we are still living. Time is an incredible thing if you truly think about it. However, it's just as cruel and ruthless. Like a bomb, at any moment it could go off. And that's what's happened here today. Time has been taken away from us, away from Jenni, and it can never be replaced. To say I'm broken is beyond words. I've lost a mother, a best friend, and I guess you can say my counsellor. Even though we didn't have a good relationship to begin with, I was glad that she accepted me back into her arms and her heart, even though she truly never let go. To be honest, I was really hoping to spend more time with Jenni, showing her my formal pictures and going to the pub to have a few drinks, seeing as I turned 18 a month ago. But now she's gone and a feeling of numbness has taken over, but I guess this is the time to stop, because I feel like she'll sit up at any moment and be like, "You gotta be kidding, suck it up, princess." But it's going to be hard when funny things like that one evening, after having an absolutely amazing lunch with the family or friends, Jenni had a bit too many, that she got up with Liv and I and started doing gangman style. That was pretty funny. Or where she offered to give Liv and I $200 each to go to the shops and buy lollies. We laughed and I was like, hell yeah. Because being my age, $200 felt like so much more and it would have been lolly heaven. But the next part I can never stop giggling about. We asked how we were going to get to the shops. How about you take the ride on? Just imagine Liv and I riding down the street with our sunnies and hats, heading off to the shops to buy lollies on the ride on. Another thing was my formal. I had 4 dresses to pick from when it became closer to that special day. 2 from my mum, 2 from Jenni. I knew which one I truly wanted, and that was the last one Jenni had bought me. A dark teal-coloured dress with a silver clutch and heels. On the night of formal, I had one girl come up to me and say, "Georgia, you are really beautiful and don't ever doubt yourself," and pulled me in for a hug. It was an amazing night, and let's just say a strapless dress isn't good for doing the nut bush in. I wish my father and Jenni could have come with me, but at the time she wasn't feeling too well, and I understand that. But one thing I regret now is not showing her the pictures of that fabulous night, because I know how much she wanted to see. But no time for regrets though, only time to remember and cherish the memories we have made and to celebrate the life she lived. Together we must keep moving forward and holding each other up so we don't fall.
Thank you, well done. Some beautiful words there and some great memories. And you'll all have your memories, and as you listen to the song that has been chosen, I do invite you to reflect on those memories. Thank you.
She's got a way about her, I don't know what it is, but I know that I can't live without her. She's got a way of pleasing, I don't know what it is, but there doesn't have to be a reason anyway. She's got a smile that heals me. I don't know why it is, but I have to laugh when she reveals me. She's got a way of talking. I don't know why it is, but it lifts me up when we are walking anywhere. She comes to me when I'm feeling down, inspires me without a sound. She touches me and I get turned around. She's got a way of showing, oh, how I make her feel, and I find the strength to keep on going. She's got a light around her, oh, and everywhere she goes, a million dreams of love surround her everywhere. She comes to me when I'm feeling down, inspires me without a sound. She touches me and I get turned around. Oh. She's got a smile that heals me. I don't know why it is, but I have to laugh when she reveals me. She's got a way about her. I don't know what it is, but I know that I can't live without her anyway.
It is my privilege to now invite Michael to please come and share with us. Thank you, Michael.
Oh crap, here we go. Do anything for that. There are many things in life that are easy and others that are hard to do. And this by far is the hardest thing in my life I've had to do. And that's not to say goodbye, but see you to my beautiful wife, Jenni, who sadly left us last Tuesday. It's a totally different feeling for me to losing a mother, a father, a grandparent, or another member of your family. To lose your soulmate absolutely turns you inside out with so many emotions in your heart and the thoughts that go through your mind. I lived every day for her, loved her every day, and cherished every single moment that we were together. So, to that, I encourage you to pick up the phone or tell those dear to you how much you care and love them, and enjoy life and the time you have together when you leave here today, because it can be taken away so suddenly. There are not enough words, nor is there enough time for me to say what I want to say about this very special lady, so I hope you can make sense of what follows, but we can elaborate, talk and reminisce later today about the special memories that we all have. After the first few days of the initial shock and disbelief of what happened, Kylie asked me if I minded if we had the service today, as it is the 13th anniversary of the sad passing of Jenni's first husband, Mark, and Kylie's and Scott's father. And I had no hesitation in agreeing with that because of the never-ending love and respect I have for Jenni. There's so many things in Jenni's life that were important to her. They were family, friends, and of course the other thing she was famous for, the dressmaking and sewing. I know some of these things have already been said, but we didn't proofread each other. Jenni would say, shit happens. You know. To to our family, she adored you all, from her children, her granddaughter, her brother and sister, nieces, nephews, excuse me, aunties, and of course the crazy ass cousins who were more like sisters. Oh, I nearly forgot, she loved me a little bit too, I think. As for friendships, she had forged so many, but no offence intended here, but I think she had more friends than Changs in the Chinese phone book. Some of you have known her only for a relatively short time, and there are many others that were so special that they had been lifelong friends for in excess of 30 years. There are many of you that she knew for when you were born, and she watched you grow into young men and women and eventually adulthood. To some, she was like another mother, and she loved that. Dressmaking and the making of dance costumes was a passion that she had her whole life, and there are a lot of you here today that would have had christening gowns, formal dresses, wedding dresses, dance costumes made for you. And at this point, I'd just like to mention Dance Time Dance Studio, which was another special family to her. She had so much joy in making costumes for you and watching you wear them on stage. One of her traits, as we all know, was that she had a big heart, and she would be up all strange hours of the night making sure that everything was perfect to make you feel special when you danced. So for that reason, whether anyone thinks it's appropriate or not, I'm excuse me, I'm donating all of Jenni's dance fabrics to Dance Time to make costumes to help with fundraising for your trips away or a Stedfords or anything else that will help. I know she would approve of me doing this. And from me to you, I say thank you for the friendship, love and joy that you gave her. Back in late 2004, both Jenni and I were at a point in our lives where we were lonely and wanted to find that someone special to hopefully share our lives together with. We actually met through the internet, and at the time she thought I lived on the other side of Brisbane, but in actual fact I only lived 10 minutes away. We chatted online for a few weeks before we took that first big step and went out on a date. We ended up meeting at a nice little romantic place in Ipswich called the Squealing Pig Pub. Now, this particular night, we ended up being chaperoned by Kylie and several of her friends because they thought I might have been an axe murderer or something like that. Anyway, after about half an hour, we decided it was too noisy, so we snuck out and walked down through Ipswich and found a nice little coffee lounge, and that's where we just stayed and talked till 2 a.m. until they asked us to leave. While all this was going on, Kylie and her friends were in a mad panic because they couldn't contact her, and she didn't tell them where we were going, and she'd left her phone in the car. Eventually, we found the girls in one of the clubs that they frequented, and they all gave her a good serve for what she had done. Things progressed slowly from there, and at her 50th birthday, I met most of the family, and I think I knew then what a crazy bunch they were. And at some stage over that weekend, we woke up one morning, and in walks her mum, Daphne, and her sister, Kerry, and they both climbed into bed with us. Sorry, we're not Tasmanian. Sorry, Kylie, where are you? As time went on, we fell in love, and neither of us could actually remember if I proposed or she did. But in reality, when we talked more about it, it was just a mutual decision, and it was the right thing for us. So we were married on the... Sorry, I missed the line. When we talked about it, it was just a mutual decision, and we started making wedding plans. It was an honour and a privilege to marry Jenni, and we were married on the 23rd of September 2006, just over 10 years ago. From that point on, life was perfect for us. Between us, we had 5 children, Kylie, Scott, Gareth, Brendan, Georgia Lee, and a granddaughter, Olivia. We were basically the Brady bunch. Just when I was thinking of all these things, I just remember a few funny little incidents, and I'll just share a couple of those with you now. The first one that comes to mind is we'd only been married for about 3 weeks when Jenni had taken some sleeping tablets because she had difficulty getting a good night's sleep. So one night she got the munchies and decided to have some fruit. So she was sitting in bed cutting the fruit in a bowl with a small knife, and yeah, she fell asleep eventually, and I woke the next morning, rolled over onto the bed and rolled onto the knife. Married for 3 weeks and she was already trying to bump me off. Another one was that she used to hate that I was such a sound sleeper, and one night I was out like a log and she got out a little lady's battery trimmer and shaved GT stripes up my chest hairs, and I didn't even wake up. An itch for bloody months. 2007, so much to put into all this in a short time. 2007, we bought an acre of land at Mount Crosby to build our dream home, and as you know, her time management wasn't the best. It actually took 6 months for us to find the land we wanted and another 2 years to build the house. I occasionally had to go away for jobs for works, and she'd ring me when I was in Cairns or Townsville or somewhere else and say, "Oh, I found such and such which would be perfect for the house. Do you think it's too expensive?" All I'd say was, "Fill your boots. If that's what you want, buy it," because I knew by the tone of her voice that it was perfect or it was a bargain. We moved into the house in 2009, and she loved her piece of paradise, which of course made me happy for her. As the years went by, after working several jobs, she decided she wanted to semi-retire and start her own business, which became Bling It On Dancewear. And she was in heaven doing what she loved from home. And that, in a nutshell, brings us to today. So, in closing, I only have a few more things to say, and that is, I'm eternally grateful for the love and friendship you have given to her and the many fond memories. There's one very special lady here today, and that's Susie, Jenni's cousin, who has done an amazing job with the flower arrangement. And she actually did the flowers for our wedding in 2006 too. We love you, Suze. I do need to mention my other family. No, it's nothing sinister. Where I've worked for around 20 years, and some of my colleagues and my manager from Maccash, where I work, has flown here from Sydney to pay his respects today. Thank you for your compassion and support you've given me, not only now, but also last year when Jenni's mum sadly passed away. To our family, I'll carry on for her the best that I can, with all the love that I can muster for all of you, and especially our children, yes, children. I don't think of Kylie, Scott as stepchildren, but my own, and of course Olivia as my granddaughter, as well as my other children, Gareth, Brendan and Georgia Lee. Jenni loved you all so deeply, and she wanted the best for you and for you to chase your dreams as I do too. That's it for me for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Well done. At this point, we'd love to listen to another special song that Jenni loved. Thank you.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof, top the moss. Well, a few of the verses, well, they've got me quite cross, but the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do, you see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is the song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world.
Sorry, I'm not done yet. Famous words for you too, wasn't it? In a few moments, lovely Gay here is going to say a few words before the final song, which is both mine and Jenni's favourite song to each other, but it's also a song from both Jenni and myself to all of you for the love and friendship you've given to this special woman in our family. It's a song that applies to everyone, so I would like to ask you to sing along. Don't be sad, but be happy, as that's how Jen would want it. Jenni, I'm going to forever miss that beautiful smile, sparkle and love in your eyes when you looked at me. As for my family, and I mean my whole family, not just the kids, we'll draw on each other's strengths and love, not to get over this because we never will, but to gradually get back to some sort of normality with our lives and continue our own journeys for Jenni. So yeah, I'm finally going to shut up, and hopefully you made sense what I've said here today, and leave you with these words from Jenni that she would quote quite often. You're not here for a good time, you're not here for a long time, you're here for a good time. So cut out the bullshit and get on with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Friends, today we do look at the coffin and think of the loved one we've lost. And our minds today are full of memories, shared experiences with Jenni, joys and sorrows, risks taken and relationships held, generosity given and failures forgiven. You know, life is like that, and especially family life. And today we have paid tribute to one who is a part of your life, a sharer in it, and can be no longer. So it's right, and you would want today to pay tribute to her for what she was and the part that she played in each of your lives. And we know that death can bring sorrow and shock where ties of love and friendship are involved, and those who feel deeply will grieve deeply, for grief is a natural, healthy reaction of the human heart. But I do hope that you'll take comfort in believing that you can never lose anything that is good. You can never lose love or the memories of great happiness because they're eternally stored in your hearts. And this means that the qualities that you loved in Jenni, her larger-than-life ways, her love, her kindness, her friendship, these are all the realities that can never die, for they identify the Jenni whom you knew and loved. So let us say thank you to Jenni for those memories. Thank you for your friendship and the loyalty that you've given. And let us remember that Jenni was a human being. And as such, she was composed of that same mixture of inspiration and error, strength and weakness, laughter and sorrow as the rest of the human race. So for all the good and kind things that Jenni has accomplished during her time with us, we do give our grateful thanks. And for any mistakes that she may have made, well, we now offer our forgiveness. Above all, let us keep her in our memories and our hearts without regret. And as we farewell Jenni today, maybe these could be her thoughts towards you at this time. Do not weep that I have gone, but rejoice that I have been. For I have known life to its fullest measure. I have felt pain and I have felt pleasure. Tears I've cried and grief and laughter. I've known love and all that comes after. I've tasted the salt and the bitterness of tears, walked in the rain when the day is done and felt the soft summer breeze and the warmth of the sun. I've sat by the sea and heard the waves pound and held the hand that is friendship, its richness abound. Yes, I have known life, and I will learn death. So weep not for me that I have gone, but rejoice that I have been and that I have known you. Jenni, we have come to the end of the road that we can travel together, and we need to now travel on alone, but not for long, for we too must one day make the journey into the mystery of death. We will remember the joy of your being and the spirit of your life, and for a while we will cry. And then the tears will dry. But you will always be remembered in those moments of respite when the noise of life is stilled and all is quiet for a moment. Friends, with a deep love and profound respect, we have remembered Jenni's life here this afternoon, and I invite you to please now stand for the final words of committal. Thank you. After the committal, I would like to offer a simple prayer, and then the song will play. And as Michael has said, you must. Is it a must? Yeah. Join in and sing. And I don't know, you can dance to it too, I guess. First of all, for the committal. The sound of Jenni's voice and her very personality we commit to our memories. The things that Jenni loved and were important in her life we commit to our hearts. In sadness at her death, but with deep gratitude for her life, we now lovingly commit the body of Jennifer Elizabeth Buchanan-Edwards to be cremated and her spirit return to the care of a loving God. Please bow your head in prayer. Our Father in heaven, we know that you understand and feel our sorrows, and in sorrow we come to you this day. We ask that you may give to all who mourn Jenni's dying the comfort that only you can give. Assure us today that in perfect wisdom, perfect love and perfect power you have accepted Jenni into your divine care. And make us so sure of your love that we will be able to accept even that which we cannot understand. Help us to remember and celebrate the good things in Jenni's life of which her family and friends have happy memories. Strengthen and support us until we too come to the green pastures which are beside the still waters, and until we meet again those whom we have loved and lost in death for a little while. We pray in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I needed the shelter of someone's arms. There you were. I needed someone to understand my ups and downs. There you were, with sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I want to stop and thank you, baby. I want to stop and thank you, baby. Yes, I do. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Feels so fine. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I close my eyes at night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Everything I did was just a bore. Everywhere I went, it seems I've been there before. You're bright enough for me all of my days. With a love so sweet in so many ways. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I just wanna stop and thank you, baby. Oh yes, how sweet it is to be loved by you. It's just like sugar sometimes. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Whoa, yeah. You were better to me than I was to myself. For me, there's you, and there ain't nobody else. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I just wanna stop and thank you, baby. Oh yes, how sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh now, how sweet it is to be loved by you. It's like jelly, baby. Oh yeah, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Just like honey to the bee, baby.